Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Get off our lawn.
Guarantee.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Did you get that? We're gonna bang out a 30-minute part. Okay. Well, that's the goal. It's probably not gonna happen, but we're gonna try.
Speak of experience.
Yeah, we got to get back to some of these recorded shows, guys. I know you were upset. Some of you were that we weren't going to do a show tonight.
That's great. That takes us right into one of my things, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wrote on the Twitters, just a reminder, there is no live stream tonight. We'll be live tomorrow evening.
Yes. For good reason.
And one of our regulars, Mr. Al Weinstein, says, I shaved my balls for this? And then I responded, they'll have a nice 5 o'clock shadow for Friday night.
Why would anybody shave their balls for this show? We don't implore anybody to shave their balls. When's the last time you shaved your balls?
It's a nice feeling to have a smooth rectum, I guess.
Rectum?
Not
He said
rectum.
balls.
Balls.
Your mind's in the gutter, man. You're like, oh, yeah. I want to shave
Nice
my
having a smooth
rectum.
rectum, too. Yeah.
Shave that hairy rectum.
I was trying to think of a movie quote at the same time, also trying to speak, and I failed the movie quote.
The word that
Well,
came
then
out of your
two,
mouth.
completely different part of the body.
You have like mild Tourette's. You're just like rectum.
Well, I don't know how any of my other stuff's going to top that. That was phenomenal.
Well, how your day must have been fucked up if you're just yelling out rectum randomly right now.
I've got a little trigger warning outside my office at work too. So just so everybody knows, if they come in there, the rectum's going to be out there.
Rectum.
So
It's a joke.
I had to take Chuckles to gymnastics today.
Mm-hmm.
And she did her thing, prepping for the December pageant or show or whatever it's called.
What? It's
Recital. There we go. It's a recital.
Was this music? What you said? Ballerina?
Gymnastics.
Gymnastics.
Yeah.
Oh, they do recitals in gymnastics?
Two of them a year.
Oh.
So she was doing her thing there, and Jackson was with me, and we were playing like some Roblox just while passing time. And we're leaving at this point, and Charlie was doing something. I forgot what it was, but I'm like, we're gonna start calling you Count Chuckula. And Jackson goes, I want to be Count Jackula, and I go, let's wheel that back. Actually, we've been calling you Jaksinovich from Hotel Transylvania too, but he's like Count Jackula, and I was like, let's not say that too loud.
Conjaculate. That's what I want to be. All right, no, you can't be that. Sorry, no. You can't say that. Why?
Jeez.
Just you can't. You can't say it. You're fucking 5 years old. I'm not explaining this to you. You just can't say it. All right. But speaking of amusing things, I was going back to this day. I was reading through some really old shit when somebody was calling me an MLS shill. This is like 7 years ago. It was an old argument between myself and Greg. Remember Greg on our page? The guy from Atlanta?
Yes.
Yeah. Remember when I was defending the fact that there were each year the number of young Americans playing in MLS and actually getting time was going up every year, and I had like a 3-year chart. The 4th year I would send it to Greg, and he's like, I still don't believe it. I'm like, do you believe it now? It's 5th year, 6th year. I told you this progress was going to happen with all these academies. But yeah, being called a fucking MLS show, dude. He was like, oh man, you're just all up in MLS's butthole. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just following the statistics. And if the things keep going the way they are, SC Dallas is going to have at least 5 players in Europe. And guess what?
Yeah.
I was right.
I feel like Phillies is going to be right up there with him.
Mm-hmm. Philly's doing a fabulous job too. So yeah, me, MLS show up, guess at one point. But we've always supported MLS players when we thought they should be on the team. And that's just how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to start so we can keep this concise?
Yeah.
We have a video. First, Gregg gets interviewed, and then Chucklehead and Adams get interviewed together. Brett has not had the opportunity to watch this yet, but here he is, Gregg. And really got to give Jonathan Tannenwald some credit here for going straight for the nutsack. He's like, listen, Gregg, you talked about, being flexible with your system and realizing that you might have to play a different way sometimes. But when I look at your three strikers, they all kind of look relatively similar to me. And then this is what Gregg says.
We'll go to Jonathan Tannenwald.
I guess we're going to hear Jonathan.
Thank you, Michael, and thanks Gregg, as always for the time. Gregg, obviously we've spoken.
I'm going to pause it after the questions asked.
Your belief in your tactical system, and you've talked a lot about it and wanting to stick to it. You've also
you don't want them screwing us over and claiming our shit.
This year about the flexibility you've had in midfield and defense. 3-2-2-3 that you played during the summer.
Practice yoga
how much flexibility you see with the front line in particular. I know we asked you a lot of questions about this, I realize, but it seems at least to a lot of outsiders,
looking annoyed.
The strikers you have in this camp are of similar
the
profile.
Pefok question.
I wonder if you see it that way and what virtue you see in that versus the option of bringing in a striker, whether it be Haji, Jordan, whoever, who's a different kind of striker, just to have a different option. Thanks.
It's a hell of a question.
It is a good question. It's a little long, but he gets to the point of it. He's basically saying, hey, what happens if you really have to make a big change and the three players you have are relatively the same kind of player that you like to play? What if you need something really different, like a Haji Wright or a Jordan Pefok? And Gregg smashes his fucking finger into his face.
His thought process is, the system's sound. So what we need to do is we just need to put a new body in there with fresh legs that plays the same system.
Yes, this is what actually went on in Gregg's head here. Well, I'm pretty fucking awesome. So is my system. Let me think of a very nice way to reply to this without throwing anybody completely under the bus. Here we go.
Imagine it's like the pans into his head and you have the picture of like the two like Mickey Mouse is like a song on a log or whatever. Whatever, yeah.
No, I honestly think he already knows the answer. He's just reminding himself right now to answer it in exactly the way he wants to answer it before. So he gets this delay, and then we get this.
He needs to learn some deflecting tactics from like Ted Lasso.
Well, this is kind of deflecting. He's not even looking at the dude or looking at the camera. He's like reflecting. He's what he's saying here is, I'm pensive. I'm going to pretend I'm thinking about this, but I already know what the answer is. So here we go.
Look thoughtful.
Yes. Good question, Jonathan.
Yeah, to me, I'm not there with you, John.
Ooh. All right. That's a great answer.
Yeah. You just said, you're wrong, bitch.
Shut the fuck up.
They're not the same three players.
That's the issue. I think they have similar profiles, but I wouldn't say they're the same. I mean, I don't think you can compare Ricardo Pepi in the air or Josh Sargent in the air to Jesus.
No.
I don't think you can compare Jesus's playmaking ability to Pepi. So I think
you could to Josh.
They're all different.
So, and we'll continue obviously, but I think the initial question probably would have been better worded, saying you've got Ferreira and how he plays, but then you brought in two of the exact same strikers to fill in the other two spots. Yep. Maybe instead of doing that, you pick your favorite now, start working some chemistry in there, and bring in somebody like a Pefok that's going to mix it all up because he's a completely different striker from everybody. But the Ferreira and the other two, Pepi and Sargent, they're going to play the same role, minus little tweaks between Ferreira and the other two.
The three guys you brought are Berhalter butt-sniffing system sniffers, all right? Pefok falls outside of your system completely, but might there be a time in the World Cup where you need to do that? Like with 5 minutes left and you're hoofing balls in the box from midfield? I mean, seriously, That's what somebody should have said, not the butt sniffing part.
Well,
but you get the idea.
I would say, obviously Pefok would be in much better of a position to play that role than Sargent or Pepe.
Well,
but if you're going to lob balls in there, I like Sargent in the air too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Greg could have a good response for that if he were really honest about this and say, listen, I really do feel, and you can disagree with me, but I really feel that Pepe and Sargent also provide a lot of the things that Pefok provides. So he could say that, but he can't say on the same level as Pefok is providing it currently, because they're not providing it that level.
Well, and he could simply say, I think these players, Pepe and Sargent, bring that aspect to the game, but they bring other aspects too. Now, Pepe or Pefok might be above and beyond.
But we already know
that one aspect. Yeah.
But we already know that. We know Greg believes that these three guys fit into his system, and Pefok is outside of it. So here we go.
All right. Do we need to listen to any more of this answer?
A little bit more.
Okay, cool. You tell me when to stop.
They have some similar attributes, but when you're talking about profiles, I think they each give us something different. And maybe subtle differences, but nonetheless,
subtle. Thank you.
When you're talking about a guy like Jordan, he to me is a completely different profile, which could be useful as well. I don't want to ever insinuate that that wouldn't be helpful to us.
Okay, pause right there. He doesn't want to insinuate that it wouldn't be, but it could be. Pefok could be helpful as well, but you can already tell in Greg's mind, he can't really envision that other world where he could be as useful. But he doesn't want to shit on the guy. He's just saying he's really great at what he does, but we're doing a different thing here. And wow, I think this is to me, when I hear this, Brett, I think this is hopeless for Pefok.
Yeah. Quite frankly, yeah. And I think, I don't know if it's in this interview or not, but people were talking about it on Twitter. But there's a point where I guess he insinuates that it's okay if players aren't playing the same system that we're playing here, but I feel like those players have adapted well or whatever.
Is
that coming up in one of them?
Yes, well, not in this, but he talks about that in relation to Zimmerman and Long. He says, yes, Long doesn't play in the same system that we play here. Yes, Zimmerman doesn't play in the same system we play here. But guess what? When they show up to camp, they adapt really fast and they learn really fast, obviously faster than John Brooks, how to play in this system. And that's why they're excelling in it or have excelled in it. So that was his argument there. So we got
excelling is very subjective when talking about some of those players.
Yeah. Well, there's more.
Oh, we continue?
Yeah.
Potentially. So we're just evaluating. We again, I thought we have a lot of information on Jordan. We got good information on what he's doing now in the Bundesliga. We can continue
scoring goals.
Monitor him, Haji, any other forwards, and Brandon, any other forwards in the pool. And then now we get to look at up close Josh, who we haven't had in a while. Who was
well, whose fucking fault is that?
Yeah, exactly.
He was playing week in, week out in the Premier League. Now, mind you, as a winger, and you may not have been scoring goals, but you could have called him in at any point, and he still kept him in the system.
And then he later talks about Josh and says, listen, the guy's bigger, he's faster, he's stronger, he's got hair on his nuts, he's got a kid. This is a different guy. He's got confidence. But anyhow, keep going because I think
part of our group, the start of 21 and in the start of qualifying. And then Ricardo, who in qualifying, really made a big difference for us in a lot of games.
Yeah.
So we want to give these guys an opportunity to evaluate them again.
Okay.
Evaluate Pepe, though. That's kind of a weird thing because Pepe was basically, ever since the October window, has been a part of the camps. And that's including, wasn't he a part of Camp Cupcake?
He might have been.
No, he was with Augsburg at the time, wasn't he? Or did he just was he just transferring to Augsburg at that point?
I can't remember. Yeah.
I don't even remember.
I'm not going to lie. I don't
Might
remember.
have played the previous one. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the bottom story. The point is that Sargent seems to be, he really pumps up Sargent in this interview later as well. So,
in all the 30-second clips they've been posting, Sargent looks as sharp as anybody out there.
That's what also he says about Sargent in practice and in training so far. Amazing. Which is fine with me. I love Josh Sargent. I'm happy to see him finally live up to some of the hype.
He's back.
He's back. 10-10, we talk about Christian Pulisic, and this is mostly just funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck tomorrow. I wanted to ask you about Christian.
Thanks, Charlie.
He's still seems so integral to your group, such a strong personality. What's your assessment of his physical, mental state coming into this window? And also a part of that is he made some headlines this week.
Sorry, I just had to pause it there because otherwise we might get hit with the claim.
We might anyhow.
We might.
Fuck
They might
worse.
be dicks about it. I feel like we're trying to break it up here. And
Yeah.
obviously we're not just watching the whole interview. We jumped about 6 minutes there.
Yeah.
Fuck it, stick.
Some suck a big fucking
I
fatty.
think, speaking of getting claimed, I think Jake got a video claimed because he did 8 minutes of Pefok pressing and that type of thing.
Yep.
And got claimed for that shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, as far as his mental status and his abilities, I feel like he's not as sharp as he could be.
Well,
We'll see what happens.
He's getting criticized a lot because he's writing a book, or parts of the book is coming out, and it's called My Story so far. Come on,
Seems
dude.
a little early for that.
What are you writing a fucking book?
What are you,
for?
23? Come on.
I'm not buying that. Write a book
No.
when you're fucking retired and you're 45. I'll read that. But right now, I don't want to read your book. I mean, unless there are all kinds of salacious details in there, like the gangbang with your sister and McKennie and the whole team in the hotel.
Allegedly.
Your battle with virginity, and and trying to find a girlfriend, and your shyness in front of women. Your obsession with Tuchel and his not playing
Obsession. Obsession.
Your dad's obsession. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say at least that would be more of an obsession. I feel like Pulisic had something to complain about.
no, he did. I'm just fucking around.
Sure.
All right, let's see what happens next.
The book excerpts and then the knowledge that's coming out. Wonder what your thoughts were on that, and if you're gonna be featured in the book.
Is he gonna be featured in that book?
In the same way Tuchel was, he asked.
Well, no, it can't be because Berhalter at least plays him. Now you could probably bitch about possible tactics or whatever.
Yeah, and besides, Gregg's not losing his job anytime soon. And I think a lot of people felt like Tuchel was on the edge, and that even some people said Pulisic influenced Tuchel's removal.
And Pulisic said too, man, because he got him the phone call. Said, "Hey, gotta get rid of that guy.
They
Stop
both
playing my son."
They both
Of course
came out
they
of a
did.
dark alley and bum rushed fucking Todd Bowley
Hey,
and said, "Hey, motherfucker!" They had masks on. They had fucking clubs, baseball bats. Wait, they're in England.
wham!
They don't play baseball in England. Anyhow,
A cricket bat.
yeah, cricket bat. They
Yeah.
threatened to spank him to death with it. All right, so that's that. I just thought that was funny that he asked.
Was that him laughing? We didn't even listen to anything he said.
I know. I should have told you this one's short, but back it up then and play the question, the end of the question.
Yeah, no. It says, "And are you going to be included there?" And then he just laughed. That's all it was.
Yeah, back it up a little, play through the laugh, and see the rest of his reaction. It's kind of funny.
And also a part of that is he made some headlines this week with the book excerpts and then the knowledge that's coming out. Wonder what your thoughts were on that, and if you're gonna be featured in the book the way Thomas Tuchel is.
Oh my God. That'd be great. Headlines right around the opening game. No. Listen, I think Christian is an ultimate competitor.
Okay, that's enough. We know all that shit. He's a great guy. He rubs my balls perfectly. He makes good runs. Yeah, all that shit, Greg. We get it. And then the last one with Greg, he reveals a starter at 11:45.
It's not the first starter that's been released, but yeah, we can we'll listen to him.
Yep. This is
that's going to take place. And then a second question, I'm also wondering if you could speak about Sam Vines and what you've seen from him. You said this was a big camp for him, a big opportunity. What have you seen so far from him in the first couple of days of training?
What I've noticed from him is in
Gotta start.
particular, it's the speed of his decision making has gotten better, has improved.
Nice.
He looks a lot more sure of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second. Isn't that what we always get? Not we, but the collective we always get creamed by.
Bukkake style.
when we talk about the difference between playing in Europe and MLS.
Mhm.
And what is the first thing that every MLSer who goes to Europe says?
Speed of play.
Speed of play is different. Not
Yep.
only just speed of play, but speed of thought.
Yes.
And yeah, we all say that, and people are like, "Oh, Euro snob."
We are not Euro snobs. We both are longtime MLS fans.
Yeah.
So, and we have teams in MLS, and it's been harder to
I
watch.
guess you can call Chicago a team.
It's a randomly conjoined number of individuals on a team that play poorly on a
I
regular.
start every season off with high hopes, and at the end of the season, I'm jaded as fuck.
When you got
every-
that Swiss midget, I thought you might have a shot, but nope.
Hey, he was injured for a bit there, spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep going.
All right.
What a look by Gregg in the.
Hacking down the left
Every
wing.
frame of
He's been
pause.
coming inside a little bit with his club sometimes, and
He's
that
been
helps.
coming inside with his club
Ooh.
sometimes.
I see a confident Sam Vines, a guy who
Gross.
is embracing 1v1 duels,
Shouldn't he pull out?
embracing getting the ball under pressure and being able to play out of pressure. And overall, he's a guy that
He's not a
I've been,
bitch, Derek.
really pleased with this camp.
He's like, I'm coming inside,
He's
bitch.
another one that's going to start tomorrow.
Oh, he's
Really
starting
excited
tomorrow.
about him and him
Yep.
getting this opportunity, because when he's played with us, he's played well. So excited to see him get this opportunity tomorrow.
You're almost
A
decided.
mixed bag there of playing well. Yeah, I mean, he had a good Gold Cup. Some questionable qualifier time. Limited top time, by the way. But
I guarantee you Sam Vines is more excited about this start than Gregg is.
Greg put himself to sleep with that question. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Look at
He's sleeping, man. He's like Sam Vines question. Next.
that. No, so that was the last one with Greg. Right? You said?
Yeah, we're on
So
to
okay, so I mean, there's been there's talk at least that Turner's been announced at start.
Yeah, we'll get through the starters though.
Well, we don't know all the starters.
Oh yeah, we're going to do our 11 before this is over. After we get done watching these two jokers.
Well, okay, we can still do our 11. I'll still mention the starters that
Mhm.
that he's not that have been quote unquote announced.
Yeah.
But yeah, Turner, Vines,
Yep.
Long,
Yep.
Zimmerman,
Yep.
and I'm thinking Adams and Weston because they're coming up here in a second.
Yep.
And I think Reyna because he was on the promo.
Yep.
That's
And
all
he's
I can get at this point, though.
center midfield too. Reyna.
Yeah, he did talk about that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It kind of
Well, he
Yeah.
also threw in Aronson who could fill in there too. So I mean, it's possible
only
Aronson-
after asked.
Okay.
He named everybody that could play midfield except for Aronson. Then somebody said, I think you forgot Aronson. He said, yeah, I didn't get much sleep.
No, Paxton's with the U20s right now. Speaking of the U20s, did you watch the game?
I did today. Yep. It was a good
Yeah.
game. It's a good game.
I thought it was overall pretty sloppy. I think some players stood out, and it's a U20 game, so I don't have high expectations for
Those
it.
are always sloppy.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So I just wanted to throw out Craig's name into the mix there. We talked about him during the qualifiers, but
Who's the guy everybody thought would be the star of this team 2 years ago?
wait, do what?
Who's the guy on the U20 team that everybody thought was going to be a star
Caden
2
Clark.
years ago? Yeah. My thing is that's Cade Clark. He's not even a leader on this team. He's a-
Caden Clark is
He's a
was
good
a shadow. He
Yeah.
he was one of my weaker players in that match.
Yes.
I think
And-
Craig played well. I think
Mhm.
Aronson played well. I think Luna came in and played well. I think Gutierrez looked good. Got a goal and an assist, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So
What am I missing
did
there?
anyhow.
I think
thought-
Cuevas looked good.
On the right, yep. He
Yeah.
did some
I
good
think
crosses.
Gomez had a pretty bad game for the most. Not bad as a whole, but I mean he had some very spotty moments.
I
And
texted
he gave up the goal.
I texted or I can't remember what I did, but I said, I think it was to Pete. And I said, hey, we need to pump the brakes on fucking Jogo. Pump the brakes.
Again, what was he, like 18, 19?
I think some of these guys get this star shit too early, man. Bello was the next savior at left back 4 years ago. And he's the same player, if not worse, than he was 4 years ago.
Yeah, well, at least Jogo's up in Europe, so hopefully he'll continue to develop. Because you can see, and this is off topic, obviously we're not talking about this, but we'll wrap this up quickly here. Mm-hmm. And you could see flashes of good play there. There were just a couple times where he snoozed, and one of them resulted in the goal. Mm-hmm. But there was just a couple times where he snoozed or got dispossessed in bad positions, made a bad pass here and there. But I think he was even with the sloppy performance, I thought he was one of the weaker performances in the match.
I have to say, it's not like he played for the West Men's national team. He played in a U20 game where if he is spectacular as everyone thinks he is, he should have stood out.
Yeah, I'll chalk this up as a bad game because it was a bad game. We'll move forward with it.
Yeah.
But again, I agree with you. For the most part, we should be pumping our brakes on hyping any of these kids anyway.
Any of them, yes. Luna.
We always talk about, hey, this guy played well. I can see good things with this kid. I joke around about Slonina, but I don't want to rush him into anything right now. So,
if you're 19, 18 years old, and you are playing on the U20s right now, and yeah, most of the guys are a little bit younger than that. I get it. But, I mean, it's just really – if you're a spectacular fucking player like Reyna, which is, probably 1 in a million, you're playing for your team. You're not in some youth Real Sociedad B team. I'm just saying. That's all. Nope. Especially at left back where, I mean, that's a fucking position nobody can fill. All right.
Hold on real quick. Just because I brought up, and I'm going to bring one last point and then we'll move on.
Okay.
I brought up Slonina. Mm-hmm. And I saw today that Chicago apparently is looking to bring him back for the next season. But a number of pundits and a number of people in Chicago front office are saying basically that it'd be a bad idea, that Chris Brady's already in the works. We've already seen him with the U20s. Apparently with Chicago 2 team during the reserve league, when Brady played for the Chicago 2 team, he played 12 games, let 10 goals in, had 5 clean sheets. The other games he didn't play, Chicago 2 leaked in 37 goals.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Chicago's fine with letting Gaga go to Europe and start developing there and bring in Brady. I'm fine with Brady.
Speaking of which, Brady did not start in that first game.
That's fine. He played all qualifier. We already know. I was happy to see Borta because I wanted to see him play. Yeah. And he didn't let me down either.
He played really well. Yeah.
He had an amazing save in that first half.
And the goal that he gave up,
save.
The goal he gave up was not his fault.
What are you going to do? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I thought he played well.
Yep. Okay. Then we start with the 2 jokers. Well, mainly one joker and a straight guy. So it's like Abbott and Costello. It's 12:54, and this is, of course, McKennie and Adams getting prepped for the interview. They don't know they're already live on camera at this point. They have no fucking clue.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, here we go.
They're live, but they don't got any audio. What a dick move.
And we are back with U.S. men's national team midfielders Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie. We will begin with your questions, and we'll start with Kyle Bond.
Thank you, Michael.
Jumping right into it, I guess. Yeah.
Time, guys.
All right, you can bump up to 13-12. Oh, we're almost
we're at 13-12.
I just want to see.
Watch how much closer McKennie gets here. Look.
Obviously Yunus Musa is not in camp. You
He's
guys
hug up to
midfield
trio. Look at him too.
I want to get in the camera, man.
Look at him.
But without Yunus, how
look how straight-faced Adams is.
Camp to build chemistry moving.
He's dealt with McKennie. He plays alongside him, so he has to
have
some
other guys who are battling for spots.
Yeah. Okay. 13:25. Are we there yet?
No, we're well past that, Derek. I'm telling you this.
All right.
Go to 13:12. I'm like, it's 13:22 already.
All right. 14:10. Another laughing out.
Did you want to? Oh, never mind. Yeah. Okay.
No comment needed.
Wait, you said there was an audible burp for 13:25.
There was.
Did you hear it?
I did not that time. 13. Well, we were talking and laughing over it.
That's fair.
13.
We'll jump back for the people here.
13:12. No, it's 13:12. It's the audible burp. Audible burp by Adams. 13-12. There we go.
Kenny, we will begin with your questions, and we'll start with Kyle Bond.
Thank you, Michael.
There it was.
Was it inside the mouth burp?
Yes. Adams tried to hold that shit in, but it still came out.
I thought you were talking about the mic tap that he did. I was like, that's a mic tap.
No, it was the burp right
That's
after.
1, 2, 1, 2.
You can see it building up inside of him, too.
Syphilis.
You can see it building up. Yes, gonorrhea. Gonorrhea. All right.
14-10, huh?
10. I don't even know what the fuck this is, but I found it hilarious, and I wasn't even stoned
WTF.
yet.
I think that's what you told me. It was WTF.
Something like that.
You know, giving guys opportunities to play. You know, we have guys like Luca Del Torre that can step in there, Kellen Acosta that can step in there, that are all proven guys. So, you know, they'll step in and do their job.
Johnny.
I mean, the list goes on. Brendan, everyone.
And Johnny.
And Johnny.
Just look at the way, rewind that shit and play it all the way through, because Weston McKennie, I don't know what he's up to, but he's
you know, we look forward to, you know, giving guys opportunities to play. You know, we have guys like Luca Del Torre that can step in there, Kellen Acosta that can step in there, that are all proven guys. So, you know, they'll step in and do their job.
Johnny.
I mean, the list goes
So
on.
such a soft and Johnny. Mike, does Wes know that he can enunciate? He's such a ham for all the other media. I would imagine that they probably like, hey, Wes, go ahead and bring it down a couple notches on this presser.
Yeah.
We just want to get through the questions, get you guys in and out. And he's like, fine. You're gonna cock block me like that. I'm just gonna chill up here.
He answered the question. He answered a lot of questions pretty good, but here at 26-24 sums up everything about these two and their relationship. 26-24. Yeah. Sums up the whole relationship right here.
Appreciate it, Michael. Hi, guys. Good to see you. Just to go back to the leadership question for a second. Tyler, you've worn the armband in the past. I mean, even since you were a teenager, I think, you know.
Yeah, since he was a toddler.
Curious where that comes from. And then Weston, you know, on Tyler, has he always been like that? And how have you seen Tyler change over the last number of years? Thanks, guys.
He's got to
had to deal with Weston for a long time. So if one of us is going to act crazy all the time, the other one has to act calm. But
there you go. That sums it up. Basically, he's the straight man.
If one's going to be straight, the other one's going to be funny.
Yeah. One's going to be a clown. The other guy has to be serious. So that sums up their relationship right there. It's kind of like the Pulisic Reina interview too, where Pulisic was straining to keep a straight face, and Reina was just laughing his ass off.
This is serious, Gio. Come on, man. No.
Most of us would prefer McKennie and Reina.
Oh, well, that wouldn't get. There'd be nothing. Nothing would actually be accomplished with that. That would be the messiest interview. It would be funny as hell for us, especially as content creators. But
man, it would be a giggle fest for sure. But here's the most condemning part, and it's at 29-15. And again, it's bad news for Pefok. And this is coming from Adams at 29-15 about the system.
How does it change, if at all, how you play the game and how you see things
with the nines
in front of you and passing and creating and so on? If whoever is, you know, up front is different from one game or one half to the next or so on.
It doesn't matter. Here we go. He's gonna say it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that again, one of the keys to our team is our depth, and you already see, based off of the players that are here, all of them can play at any different moment and completely offer something different. I think one of the main points about our team is that we have a system, and
there we go.
Although we have individual quality all over the field, and you know, there's all different types of quality. When you come into the system, you have to know your role, you have to know your job on the day and for who we're playing against. So, yeah, although you know tomorrow it could be Jesus, it could be Josh, it could be Pepe. We know what we're gonna get from them because you know.
No, but the problem is that all three of those players are different. Remember?
Yeah, but not much different.
There's subtle differences. Apparently.
Subtle differences, Greg says. Yes.
But they're different players. But I mean, you're like, we know what we get from them. Well, that's because you played with them.
Pepe and Sargent are very similar players.
Extremely, like borderline
very similar. Yes.
I think Sargent is much more of the overall team player. Like he'll come back and check more and cover some of the dirty responsibilities in Pepe. Pepe's more of an out and out striker, but
Ferreira is essentially Sargent if Sargent were 5 inches shorter, weighed about 30 pounds less.
So Sargent encompasses both of them. It's a Venn diagram, right?
It is. It's a Venn diagram. Exactly. I mean, and the Venn diagram, basically, there's the rims of the circles between Pepe
and
Sargent
Ferreira aren't touching, but then Sargent's touching both of them.
I think he's touching so much of Pepe's, he's overwhelmed Pepe's circle.
Yeah.
So it's Pepe's circles inside of Josh's, and Ferreira, yeah, he's attached to Sargent, but just like at Sargent's nipple of the circle.
Pepe's definitely inside of Sargent. Sargent's touching Ferreira, so.
Yeah. It's a U.S. men's national team 9 gangbang. All right. Any bang bang? Anybody? Gangbang?
Oh,
all right.
no.
So
31-10.
And this goes on, actually. This goes
we're
on.
going to continue?
Yeah. A little more.
No, 31-10. Okay, so you want to continue this?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Okay.
In our system, the 9 plays in a similar way each time they step on the field. So
exactly.
Can you hear that, by the way?
Yeah.
I know we're at the end of the show and all, but I'm sitting here going, can you hear this?
Yeah, the 9 plays in a similar way, regardless of who's on the field, is what he just said.
Yeah, that definitely sucks for Pefok.
Yes.
Not saying that Pefok can't play the check too, but his prowess is inside the box waiting for you to lob that to him.
His prowess is playing alongside another striker who's quick.
God forbid we play with 2 strikers. That's insane, Derek. Don't talk about that.
Somebody who's so fast that
when he wins
the header and puts the ball forward, that guy's running onto the ball.
What do you think of like a Pefok way tandem? Or even a Pefok Pulisic, I think could work. I mean, Pulisic's fast as fuck too.
I think Pefok fucking Sargent would work. Honestly,
sure,
I really do.
Sargent's got some speed. He's very elusive when that comes
you could play Sargent at a 10. You could play Reyna underneath Pefok. I really do think you could do that too. Even though he's no speedster, he is faster than you think.
Yeah, if your ability to read the game outweighs your pace, you can still be very effective.
He glides. When Reyna gets his top speed, just like Pefok, he glides. So there's that. And a little more of this.
We have some special players up front. They all bring different qualities, but I think we're comfortable. We don't have to really vary or change our games based off of who's there because we know what the number 9 has to do in our system.
There we go. That's the end of that. That sums it up. Pefok is fucked.
Kind of a dick move there.
And can you believe Jimmy Conrad's out there using Pefok? He's Pefok, like he made that shit up? No, we made that shit up, Jimmy, and you need to give it up to the guys who fucking made that word up.
I find it funny because what's funny about all of this is that everybody's on board with this. The fact that Pefok got Pefoked.
Yep.
Everybody's on board with it. And everybody's like, I cannot believe you got a leading goal scorer in Bundesliga, and he's not even in the equation.
I got German people making fun of me about this. This is not good.
Well, you have all the German clubs that are housing American players, kind of poking fun at Berhalter and the USSF constantly. Not just Union Berlin, but Gladbach does it too. And I don't know if Dortmund does it so much because I'm sure they're just like, don't call Reyna up, man. We're kind of just getting him back into the groove of things. We don't need him up right now.
The German guy with the German podcast texted me. He's like, "Fuck is your dude doing, dude? Is he fucking an idiot?" Kinda.
My system.
He's an arrogant motherfucker who thinks his system is so important that he can leave out somebody who could play outside of his system when you need to play outside your system to win a game and to change up the way things are going. All right, we got one more, 31-10, and that is Hey, we got some guy comes in here. This is I love this guy. He's my funniest question asker. And he doesn't refer to Michael Cameron as the turd or Michael Cameron.
How's that face?
He refers to him as MK. MK? Here we go.
Last question comes from Andrew Jones.
Thanks, MK. Weston and Tyler, you had Christian and Johnny's birthday this week.
Johnny's
Besides
birthday.
bringing yourselves, did anyone get him anything get one of them any birthday gifts for the team or have any B-Day quick celebrations? And Alfonso Davies was talking about how he was Canada's best FIFA player in terms of playing the FIFA game. Who is the best FIFA player on the USM?
Getting the real questions here. I like it.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to say that's a dope picture in the background.
It's his daughter.
Yeah.
Hey.
Second of all,
it's my
best
sister.
FIFA player.
Yeah, it's his sister. He's like, hey, wait a minute. Playboy, Kenny.
It's the celebration of birthdays. We always have a ritual, the chef always makes the cake, brings it out, we sing, we make them do a speech.
Paddles, spankings. A light spanking.
Actually.
Gregg Berhalter pees on ankles.
We didn't celebrate Christian's birthday yet, though, right?
The audio sounds so low, man.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like they got really quiet. Anyhow, that's enough of that. That was funny. Anyhow, if you haven't watched those two clowns together and the clown really being McKennie and the straight man being, it's like a comedic duo there through lots of part of that interview. It was a lot of fun to watch. So, we got to pick our starting 11. You ready to go?
Yeah.
And we're going to just burn this off because it's easy. We already know Turner starting.
Yes.
We already know Zimmerman and Long are starting at center back. We know Vines is out on the left.
Yep.
Dest is going to start at the right.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right.
He's healthy. He needs to get time on the field.
Yep. The 6 is Adams.
Yep.
The 8s are McKennie and Reyna. You don't think so?
It's possible.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I mean,
I'll be happily proven wrong because I'd like to see Reyna played in that role, but I would almost see him playing.
What gave it away for me? There's an interview thing that gave it away because he immediately listed Reyna as one of his potential center midfielders.
Maybe.
And then they asked him, "Well, aren't you worried about his health or whatever?" He's like, "No, we'll just play him."
Maybe this is 4D chess that he's playing, and he already gave up Vines. And he doesn't want to give up the fact that Aaronson's probably going to play in the other 8.
No, that's not what's happening here. He's not that smart. He basically then said, if Reyna gets tired and he doesn't look fit anymore and he's not giving it the best, then we'll pull him off. That's the beauty of having 6 fucking subs. So I think we are going to see Reyna as one of the center midfielders. It's either him or Luca De La Torre. And do not even come at me with Acosta. I don't want to hear that shit.
No.
Yeah.
No,
others.
Oh, sure. I feel you.
And then
I'm going to assume that it's not going to be Reyna, even though I would like to see Reyna play the 8. I'm going with Aronson as the alternate with McKennie and Adams in the middle. Well, because we primarily saw that last window.
You're going with Luca De La Torre?
No, Aronson.
No.
And I think Reyna and Pulisic are going to start.
You missed the interview. So
no, I listened to what you said.
No. There's more. There's more. So when he was listing all the center midfielders potentially, he forgot Aronson.
Yeah.
The reason he forgot Aronson is he's starting him at right winger.
I'm going with big brain 4D chest Berhalter here.
No such thing. No such thing.
I gotta vary it up here, man. I'm sticking with Aronson. I think Reyna Pulisic out wide.
It's Pulisic and Aronson out wide with Sargent in the middle. I'm picking Sargent.
You think?
Yes. He's practically giving him a reach around in this.
I would absolutely love to see that. The only reason why I would say Ferreira is because I feel like he's going to want to kind of develop who he thinks is number 1, and I think he's pretty set in his ways with Ferreira. I'm not saying that's what he's going to pick. That's what I'm saying he's going to pick, I guess. But
out of the 3,
I would love to see your lineup. I'm just going to flat out say it right now.
Okay, I'm only saying this based on evidence of what I heard in this interview from Gregg. That Gregg does see Reyna. I mean, they didn't even really get
Sure.
like poked for this. He just came out and said, I see Reyna as a potential midfielder. And oh, by the way, I'm not worried about playing him.
I made the comment to Pete because he had talked about that too. He's like, he sees that Aronson and Reyna as midfielders as could potentially fill in the role at midfield. And I go, I'm predicting that it's probably going to be Aronson, but it appears to me that maybe Berhalter has been watching some Dortmund games.
Could
do you remember that? Do you remember the quote from Berhalter earlier? It was like, does he really even play an 8 at Dortmund? Does he really even play an 8 there?
He does on many occasions these days.
8-10. Come on, it's something.
I mean, this could look like a 4-2-3-1. Honestly, it really could. I just think it might. It might look a lot like that. And what I'm saying is,
I think Adams and McKennie are going to tandem up there.
I think they're going to have to double pivot off of each other, unless you start Luca De La Torre. Then he's the guy that comes back and helps.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense for a double pivot. Yes.
Yeah.
I think McKennie won't double pivot. Although he could play the role.
He did it at Juventus when he first got there.
I don't see it happening. I see them looking at McKennie as wanting to be more of a crash the box type of player, which is where his strength is.
Well, he doesn't need to crash the box because they're going to set Reyna free as the CAM, like a CAM-ish or the most attacking of the 8s. Yes. Because listen, if you're gonna play Reyna at midfield,
CAM, we don't play the 10, Derek. We don't play the CAM.
I get it, but if Gregg is talking about playing Reyna in midfield, he's not going to be McKennie, and he's not going to be Adams, and he is seriously not going to play the kind of defense that Musa plays. I just don't see it. Reyna is not.
No, I agree.
He's not built that way. He's going to be looking to go forward and score goals. So, I mean, he'll play some defense. Don't get me wrong. He will. But, he's not going to be if you play him as one of the 8s.
Here's the funny part about all this is by the time people actually sit down and listen to this show, the game will be over.
So let's end this so it gets up faster. All right. I want you guys to like, subscribe, share it with your grandma, all those good things. Yes, we got to do a recorded show every once in a while. You guys used to love these. We only started doing the live show.
47 minutes, Derek. I mean, this is practically a live stream.
I know. Let's end it. All right, guys. We'll see you after the game on Friday.
You're gonna do her. Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that? Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the straight red card. Get off our lawn.